Evening, guys. So here's me feeling a bit like a dork doing the video as I said I would to kind of help me describe the cloth nappy system a little bit better. So all I'm going to do is just go through my personal collection and my system and sort of tell you how it's worked for me. I think the main issue a lot of people have when we're talking about it today, everyone says exactly the same thing. The problem with cloths is that it's just so overwhelming. There's so much information. You don't know where to start. I know the upfront cost can seem huge if you're going to buy loads all at once and replace the nappies. So I think before I go ahead and start what I'm gonna say, because to be fair, I mean, I kind of almost feel like I'm gonna bog you down with more confusing information. So the main thing to say is just, you know, you don't have to fully commit to cloth at the start if you don't want to. It's very easy just to buy 1, 2, 3. Just do it at home. Don't worry about leaving the house just yet. You know, you can start small, just get used to it, just get used to the concept, the idea of how it works, how you wash them. You know, and then obviously if you choose to make your collection bigger, then great. The more confident you become with it. And I think like everything else, you know, you'll get used to how your baby responds to them as well. Because again, you know, all babies are different. So it's like anything else in motherhood. Don't, you know, with what I'm about to tell you, if you find certain bits helpful, then, which I hope you will, then great. But if there's stuff that I do that you don't quite fancy, then honestly just don't do it. I will start with like the pocket nappy system, which is what I use, but I will also show you what I do for nighttime and the nappies I have for nighttime. But you know, sort of either just sort of skip through the video if what I'm saying isn't relevant to you. But yeah, I'm kind of obviously just trying to make it seem appealing and not overwhelming. So yeah, okay, so I'll get started. So the nappies that I use like 90% of the time that I've always used are called, they're the pocket nappies. So you might have heard that term before. Okay, now it's called a pocket nappy because it has a pocket at the back. So it comes sort of as a shell, okay? So obviously it's waterproof, has the waterproof liner to stop any wee and poo getting out. And then it just has like a lovely fleecy liner on the inside, okay? And now these are suitable from birth to potty, and how that works is that they have like a line of poppers down the front. So if I just undo them there, so obviously that would be the biggest size. You undo all the poppers and you've got your line, and then obviously you can just change them, change the size depending on the size of your baby. So obviously the smallest, you do all the poppers up. The biggest, you don't have any of the front poppers, and they will last until potty training years. Okay, so that's what it means by birth to potty. It's literally just those poppers there. That's all it means. Okay. Now this is where your inserts come in. So this is probably where it gets a bit confusing because there's different types, different materials when it comes to the inserts that you can put in your nappy, because they're the bits that soak up your wee. Okay. Now I only use 2 types of insert. I use microfiber, okay, and I use a bamboo one as well, okay. I've kind of got half and half, and just the reason for that is I've just ordered different ones as the years have gone by. Depending on the type of nappies I've ordered, some will come with the inserts already. Depending on what brand you buy, it doesn't really matter, okay. The differences between the two, the main differences is the drying time, okay? So with your microfiber, it absorbs a decent amount of wee, and it's really quick to dry, okay? So depending on how you're going to dry your nappies, whether you are going to put them on radiators or put them in a tumble dryer, might be a deciding factor as to the type of inserts you use. Because if you're going to be relying on sort of air drying, if you don't have a tumble dryer radiators, microfiber will be better. The bamboo ones, they also absorb an awful lot of moisture, a lot of wee, but they do take longer to dry. So even when I've had these in the tumble dryer, sometimes I do have to put them on the radiator. But I do love them. The reason I do use bamboo is because the bulkiness of the nappy. So you can see kind of the difference if I lie them sort of side to side there. The microfiber's a lot bigger than the bamboo. The bamboo's like a lot slimmer, so they're as thirsty as each other. They'll take just the same amount of fluids, but this one's a lot slimmer. So with both my children have been, I think, what they call heavy wetters. I think, I don't know, but for me to be able to get one of these nappies to last more than 2 hours, I have to use 2 inserts. 1 insert isn't enough. I end up having to change after an hour, and then it just becomes unpleasant to do because you just feel like you're constantly changing nappies. So that's why I use 2 inserts to make the nappy last a little bit longer. You don't have to, again, just maybe start with 1. Your child might be fine for 2 hours just with 1 insert. Again, this is kind of where you have to play with it. So yeah, but it's simple as basically, I put the inserts together, put them in the pocket. Pull it through, and that's it. That's your nappy. Goes on the bum. That's it. So this is a little lamb. I love little lambs. I'm going to go through the brands, different brands that I like now and that I use. So little lambs I love. This is called this is Alva, L-A-L-V-A. And I like Alva because they have, if you look at the fleecy line a bit, they have kind of that extra sort of bit of reinforced sort of groin area there, which sort of helps with leaks and things like that, and probably maybe makes it a bit more comfortable for the baby. I don't know. But I've always gotten on with this one quite well. So that's an Alva. Now your Alva, actually I have been doing some price checking as well, which I hope you might find helpful. So the Alva, and I tell you, oh, they're so cheap now. They're so much cheaper than when I started. So your Alva baby, with the inserts, you can get 6 of these for £45. That's with 1 insert. So that's like great. So what's that? It's like, well, you know, less than £10 a nappy, which is great. The other one, so this is called Bambino Mio nappies. Now they come with the insert pre-attached, so it's a pocket nappy exactly the same, but it comes with this attached, and then you can sort of just shove that in the nappy there. And there you go. The microfiber on this bit's huge actually, so sometimes I put boosters in with this, sometimes I don't. And they come in very cute patterns, these ones as well. And these ones are Velcro, so you don't have the poppers. They're still birth to potty. You probably can't see the things there. So these are still birth to potty, so you can still size them up and down, but those close with Velcro. These are the ones that I was talking about today that they do in Aldi. So I think to buy each one of these nappies new, I checked Amazon, it's about £12. But when Aldi have the sort of baby event, I think they sort of sell them for about £10-11. But if you can get to a baby event and they have the sale on, I used to get these for like £4 from Aldi because nobody was cloth napping back then. No one in Chester wanted them, so I built up a good collection of these, and I only paid £4 a nappy, which was amazing. So yeah, just keep an eye out for that. If you're at the back end of a mother and baby sale, just be mindful that they might have some of those cheap in the aisles. So that's that one. And now these as well, I cannot believe the cost of these actually. So this is called Little Bloom. Now these ones as well, you can buy these, again, just the shell, or you can come with the inserts as well. These Little Bloom, these are 8 for £35 with the inserts. These, so it literally works out less than £4 a nappy with an insert. So these are from Amazon. Little Bloom are the brand. They were not this cheap when I bought them. They were on the cheaper side. I think these are the ones that are kind of mass produced in China, so they're able to do them cheaply. But goodness me, for cost effectiveness, oh my god. And I have used these, and I can tell you firsthand these are great. So I would really recommend these. I think if I was maybe going to start out all over again, I probably would buy more of these because they're so cheap now. So you could literally buy 20 nappies for less than £100. It's crazy. So yeah, Little Bloom, these are called, and I really recommend them. Again, birth to potty, there's the studs on the front, and they're also popper closed as well. So they're the 4 brands that I love. Little Bloom, the Bambino Mio ones, Little Lamb, and the Alva nappies as well are my favourite ones. The ones that I wouldn't recommend too much, there's a brand called Fuzzy Buns. I can't find where it is, but yeah, but they are not, they're advertised as birth to potty, but they don't have the poppers at the front. They have these awful elastic things on the sort of gussety leg bit there that you kind of resize, and they're so fiddly, they just don't bother with those. So yeah, so the fuzzy buns I wouldn't recommend. There's also a brand called Bum Genius, and they're really good, but they're about £18-20 a nappy, so you spend a fortune, and there's no need. There's absolutely no difference in the performance in spending £18 and spending £4 on a little Bloom nappy. So I would say just go cheap and use those ones.